Hello, welcome to my channel. We're just going to get another general message from Spirit and see what comes out today. Thank you everyone who subscribed to my channel, liked and commented on the videos. I appreciate you guys so much. Welcome to everybody who is new. If the video resonates with you, I would love if you would subscribe as well. Please remember these are collective readings and not everything will resonate with you necessarily, but that's okay. Just take what does and leave the rest behind. Also, there is no gender, so you can change the roles as you need to. I just read what's on the card so it doesn't get confusing. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Star. I feel like somebody is trying to decide like how to move forward and like bring the truth forward. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, so I feel like this Page of Cups person, Page of Pentacles person is in an energy of, planning, because this is how they feel about you. They think that they are in this Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Star energy. It's like they see you as this incredibly like vibrant, beautiful energy. They see you as someone who is incredibly magical. I'm getting that the most. When they think about you, I feel like they think of you as being like a mystic, or, just like very connected to spirit, very connected to your higher self. I feel like there's an energy of you kind of moving very freely through life, kind of very like, like carefree. Because you know that spirit has your back no matter what, right? So you move with confidence, you move with grace, you move with this like joyful energy, because you know that whatever is going to come next is going to be divinely guided, because you stay high vibrational, you stay on path, so you know that whatever you encounter is going to be sent to you by spirit. I feel like this person knows that. So them being in this page energy, I feel like it's them kind of feeling a little bit like inadequate in that sense. I feel like this person normally is very confident. I feel like they have a very I was going to say high opinion of themselves, but it's more of just like their confidence. It doesn't really feel like ego-based. It just feels like self-assured, but not in a negative way. I feel like this person views themselves as very capable, able to, conquer the things that they put their mind to, move forward in their life in a high vibrational way. I feel like this person doesn't really have connections to a lot of people necessarily. Maybe they have a large friend group or something like that, but it doesn't feel like they engage in, it doesn't feel like they keep energies close to them, really. So maybe they know a lot of people, but I don't feel like they're like giving themselves away to a lot of people as far as like their time. Maybe they keep in touch here and there, but I don't feel like this person focuses on like maintaining friendships or relationships or something like that. Not in a negative way, just more of a, they have goals and that's what they're staying focused on. Yeah, it feels like a very light energy. It doesn't feel like there's any like heaviness around that that friend group where they kind of just like keep their distance a little bit. I feel like there's an understanding that this person is very much future focused and motivated to grow their future. So I feel like it's more of like a supportive energy around them that is kind of just allowing them their space to do what they need to do for them. It feels very loving, very, very peaceful. But I feel like this person is like deep in thought about how to come forward in this Knight of Cups energy, because they want to tell you how they feel with this with the Ace of Swords and Three of Wands. They want to come forward and tell you how they feel. I feel like they've been on the outside looking in for a really long time. I feel like this person is a deep thinker. So I feel like this person is putting a lot of pressure on themselves to like get it right. You know what I mean? I feel like they want it to be really special. In the way that they come forward to show you that how much they care. The Sun, the Eight of Cups, Death, and the Eight of Pentacles, 88. I feel like this person wants to, so I feel like you've walked away from this person here with the Eight of Cups and Death. I feel like this was a choice that you made because this person was, kind of just like standing on the outside, like watching from the outside, standing on the outside, not moving, just waiting and waiting, right? Not finding their words, I feel like it was just an energy of like you can't keep waiting forever, you know. So I feel like you walked away and you ended this situation, but this person wants to heal it with the Sun and the Eight of Pentacles. They want to put in the time to do what needs to be done in order to heal this with you. I feel, especially with the Star here too as well, I feel like that's a very healing energy between the Star and the Sun. That's what this person is motivated to do. This person is motivated to find a way forward, to fix I heard the rift in time, but I feel like they just want to fix what's happened, right? They want to bridge this gap. They don't want you to walk away. They want to fix this situation and have you come back. Knight of Pentacles. The Magician. I'm hearing that Imagine Dragon song, Whatever It Takes, and I feel like that is this person's energy. I feel like they have a very determined kind of spirit about them right now. I feel like this energy up here where they were kind of feeling inadequate, I feel like that was holding them back for a really long time. But I feel like with the Magician energy here and the Knight of Pentacles, it's like during this time of separation, during this time of not coming forward, and this slower moving energy with the Knight here, they've come into their magic because they put the time into working on themselves. They put the time into, I feel like it had a lot to do with fear, but I feel like it had a lot to do with them not feeling worthy, right? So I feel like that's what they really turned inward to find that healing at. With the Sun here, that's what they healed about their mindset. They stopped believing that you were so high up on this pedestal that you were, unreachable to them. They knew that they needed to turn inward and heal so that they could higher their vibration to meet you on that pedestal. Instead of looking up at you, they were going to meet you there. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what they've done here in this time of separation with the Knight of Pentacles and the Magician and the Eight of Pentacles. They've been working on themselves during this downtime, and now they're coming to their magic. Can I get some more on this person? Two of Wands. King of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this person has come into their power, like I said before. So, for a long time they were in this Three of Wands energy where they're on the outside looking in, right? Just waiting for the right time, waiting for the moment that seemed like a good time to step forward, right? But they know that was not what they needed to be doing to have this progress, right? You can't just stand on the outside looking in forever. You have to make a move. And I feel like, during this time of their waiting or this separation, like I said, they were working on themselves, and now they've come into the Two of Wands and the King of Wands. They're passionate about moving forward. They have a plan to move forward. They're in motion, right? So it went from the 3 to the 2. They're moving forward. They're in their power in this King of Wands energy. Temperance. I feel like this is how they think of you. I feel like this is your energy here with Temperance. It's that angel energy. I feel like they definitely think of you as an earth angel. I feel like a big part of that whole scenario where they're in their head not feeling good enough is because this is the pedestal that they had you on. They had you on this pedestal of being an angel, of being like magical and, connected to the divine in a way that they had never experienced before, right? They see you as this angel energy. Can I get some more on this person? The Hermit. What's the Hermit? Excuse me, the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands, and I heard breaking my own heart. So with this Hermit energy, I feel like that was a major part of this growth that was happening in the silence as well. I feel like they were reflecting on the fact that, one, they didn't feel worthy, but they dove into that, right? Like, why am I not feeling worthy? What do I need to face within myself, right? I feel like there was a lot of past wounds that they were hiding from that they didn't want to face because they knew it was going to be very painful here with the Three of Swords. But I feel like they took that deep dive. I feel like they faced those things, and that's why they were able to come out of this energy here with the Hermit. It led them out, right? It led them to you. It led them to healing for themselves because Temperance is a healing energy as well. I feel like this is you in their mind. They think of you as this angel, but this is also their energy as well, because they followed the healing, right? They faced these things that they weren't wanting to face because they were going to be too painful, but they knew the only way to you was through the pain, right? They had to face those inner demons. They had to face the shadow that they were hiding from, whatever it was for them, right? They had to face it, and I feel like that's what they did. They knew that's what the path was going to have to be to get to you, and that's what they did. They followed the light to you, and they followed the light to their healing. Get some more on this person. The moon. I'm seeing a scene from The Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure which one it is, or any of their names, but it's like I'm seeing the is it the mountain and then the fire eye? I'm not sure. I'm not good with those movies. I don't know much about them, but that's the scene I'm getting. So it feels like this healing energy is what I feel like this is kind of referring to here. It's like this person had to really go deep and face a lot of things that were very, very difficult, right? Like that movie is about this like incredible journey, facing like terrible odds against these like creatures and stuff like that, right? So I feel like that's how this person views the journey that they had to face, and that's why it took them so long to face it, because they knew that it was going to be like incredibly difficult. Because I feel like there's an energy, this person's energy is really like hitting me hard. I kind of feel like I'm gonna start crying, because I feel like there's an energy of them kind of having a lot of traumas as a kid, growing up, and then kind of getting into relationships that caused more trauma, to the progression of their self-esteem. I feel like their self-esteem was completely wiped out in these instances. I feel like they these relationships that they were in, I feel like they were very detrimental to their self-confidence, their self-respect for, the way that they felt about themselves, right? I feel like it was something that tore them completely down. The relationships that they kept having because of the trauma that they were not healing from. So I feel like that with this moon energy, it just feels very like kind of like a scary movie, you know what I mean? That's the energy that this person held within when it comes to like facing their traumas. But like I said, they knew that the only way forward towards you was to go just head into it, you know what I mean? To start the journey, to finish the journey, and to come out the other side. And I feel like that's what's happening here. So they did their journey, they did their healing, they faced those traumas, and this Knight of Swords energy is them like coming out of the darkness. Like it's almost like rejuvenated with this knight. Can I get some more on this person? Two of Swords, 22. What's it? Oh, goodness. What's the Two of Swords? The Wheel of Fortune. Seven of Pentacles. And Judgment. Yeah, with the Two of Swords, I heard no more waiting. And I feel like that's the energy of them, like, kind of telling themselves, like, I have to do this, right? To move forward on the wheel, to move forward in the way that I want to get to the person that I want to be with, which would be you in this Temperance energy. They knew that they had to start the process, right? They knew that they had to face these demons inside of them. Seven of Pentacles and Judgment, I feel like that is the energy of them just getting started, right? They knew it was going to be an incredibly difficult journey, but they knew they also had to take that first step forward for anything to progress with you. So that was their energy. They put in the time to heal. They faced all these demons and shadows and traumas that they were hiding from for so long. And I feel like this energy of the it's like a release energy here with the Knight of Swords and this Judgment. It's like they crawled out of the darkness, right? They're starting their new cycle because they chose to continue on their healing, and they came out the other side. So let's get some oracles. I feel like this person is in a very heavy energy, but it's also like a freeing energy as well. Like I feel like this energy of the people down here is kind of like all of that darkness, all of those traumas, all those things that they didn't want to face, kind of like holding onto their feet and like not letting them fly away. But it's at the end, right? So I feel like this is more of a release energy now, where they're like their feet are free and they're floating up to start their new cycle. Territory. I heard new territory. Yeah, I feel like that's the energy of this person. They're in like a whole new kind of territory, basically, right? So for a very long time, I feel like they were hiding from their traumas, right? They didn't want to face those things that they needed to heal from because it was scary, or it was, going to be painful, and they knew it, and so they were kind of hiding from it. But that was their comfort zone. They were comfortable in this energy of not facing their fears, not going forward and doing the healing. Comfortable with their mask, right? Comfortable in this energy here. So now that they've released this, now that they've moved on from this heavy energy, it's like a whole new new kind of territory, right? I feel like it's a it feels very Paige-like when I'm tapping into this, like they're starting something new, right? They're starting a new cycle. They're starting to live from a new energy. They're starting to feel things differently because they, excuse me, they finally like believe in themselves, right? They're giving themselves the credit for having done the healing, for having faced all those things that they were hiding from. I feel like they're giving themselves credit, and I feel like they're just feeling really like brand new. Let me get some more. One more. Grief. Oh, goodness. Communication. And freedom. Yeah, and ghosts. So I feel like, this is what's going on, right? They want to come forward and have this conversation with you about what they've been going through, right? And a part of healing is going through grief, you know what I mean? It's like shedding this old version of yourselves, fighting the ghosts of your past, coming out the other side and feeling free, right? So this person is in a whole new energy. This is the energy that they want to come forward towards you to talk to you about. This is the past traumas that they were facing. They had to grieve the loss of, not a loss, but they had to grieve. Part of healing is grief, right? You're going to face things that are hard to deal with. And I feel like that's just part of the journey, right? They faced those things. They went through I heard 12 steps. So they went through whatever they needed to go through to get to the other side. And now they are in this other territory where they're feeling much more free. They're feeling free of this energy here. I don't feel like they're in this grief ghost energy anymore. I feel like that's what they went through, and during this time down here when they did their healing, this is what they went through, and this is where they are now, and this is what they want to do. They want to come forward and talk to you about what they've been through. I feel like it's an energy of friendship, honestly. Like, I know that there's a deeper energy here where this person does want to be with you, but at the core of it, I feel like they just want to talk, you know what I mean? They want to start this communication with you. They want to see, where you are, because you had walked away from this in the beginning of the reading. So they don't know for sure if you want to, have a committed relationship with them moving forward, or if maybe you want to be friends. But I feel like there's an energy of them just wanting to come forward and talk to you and kind of see where you are on your journey, and talk to you about what they've been through on theirs. So I hope that brought you some clarity. I hope that resonated for you. Please like, subscribe, or comment below. I would love to hear from you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.